Y'all, 10 years in, I'm still like, let me remember all the buttons. All right, here we go. Wendy, I can see your face. Can you see my screen? And Christy. Okay, perfect. All right. Happy Monday. I am so pumped that there are so many new people on here tonight. And I know I already had a couple of people that messaged that they wanted the recording because they had other plans. And I love that we get to do that too. I know the week before school, I know the madness have begun or has begun. Drop a one in the comments if you're already doing the back to school rush with sporting events and getting kiddos ready and trying to figure out new schedules. I had the calendar pulled up today and I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. I messaged my husband and said from one crazy to the next. But that is exactly why I wanted to do this tonight and why I wanted to kind of go back to the basics because we have so many people with the Cancun, with the Leaders Retreat. And if you don't know about that, it's a free trip that's coming up for you and a guest, an all-inclusive resort in Cancun. And if you have been on a Plexus trip, drop in the comments what a plexus trip does, just if you can sum it up in a couple of words, because it is by far being spoiled and treated like royalty. Like it is the best trip that you will ever go on. And I know that sometimes when we get added to team pages or when somebody messages us sometimes and they're like, yo, you would be so good at sharing this and making an impact. And we see, okay, if I add 8 or 9 people, I get $1,000 the first month. What that looks like, that feeling sometimes is like, yeah, game on. Let's do this. I want to be able to share with people. And then we go to do the things and maybe message somebody or we kind of want to dive in a little bit and then we just freeze up because we don't know what to do. We don't know what to say. We don't really know what it looks like. Maybe we've heard some negative about network marketing and we're just not sure if we want to be that girl. If you've ever felt those feelings, drop a that's me in the comments because that was 100% me. I did not think that this was something that I ever wanted to do because I didn't want to be that girl. I didn't want to be the salesy, pushy, all the things that we don't love about copy and paste messages. I didn't want to be that. And so this is actually our team's 10-year anniversary with Plexus this month. It's coming up, which is wild to me that it has been that long. I told my husband that this morning, and he was like, there's no way. There's no way you've been doing this for 10 years because it feels like it has just flown by. And over those 10 years, we have learned so much about this space. I love that you can start as a skeptic with the products and kind of morph it into whatever you want it to be because there is no cap on this. There's no cap on the products and what you can do for your health. There's no cap on the sharing and how you want it to look for you. And there's no cap on the income with this. And that's what I'm so passionate about with this is that if somebody would have told me when I started this, my kids were 2, 3, and 5, and we were constantly trading time for money or money for time. And what I mean by that was before I started in network marketing, for those of you that are a little bit newer here, I was actually a school teacher. I taught sixth grade math for a couple of years, started having my own babies. I had a ton of health issues. My oldest daughter had a lot of allergy issues. We had 2 kids at the time and decided when I was on maternity leave with my second daughter that I was going to stay home. We did not have the money. We're a dairy farming family. At that time, there were 4 of us, but we knew that we couldn't send Rye to a daycare setting because her allergies were life-threatening and my health was declining really fast I had 4 different autoimmune disorders. Learned when my middle daughter was 7 months old that we were pregnant with our third unexpectedly a week after I'd resigned from my teaching position. To say that I was panicking is an understatement. But I knew that I needed something to stay home. And so over the next couple of years, y'all, I tried everything. I mean, I was working with my dad as a secretary, just as kind of a fill-in when I could. I was doing a vinyl business in my basement, selling vinyl decals. And Plexus kind of landed in our lap. And I actually told the person that I started with, some of you have heard this 1,000 times, that I would never ever do this and not to ever message me again. But what I found was, and why I'm so passionate about this, is that we all share stuff every single day. In the comments right now, I want you to drop the last time that you shared a coupon code, a restaurant, You shared something on social media because somebody was asking about a recipe. Maybe it was your favorite trip. Or I want you to think about the last time that you asked for advice on Facebook. I do this constantly. What are quick meals? Where is a beach within 6 hours? How do I do laundry? Like the soaking, if y'all saw my post from a couple of days ago. We are constantly sharing something with other people. That's what we do, right? And the world is based on sales, y'all. Like every single aspect of our lives is based on sales. It's working and getting something in return and giving a service to other people. And what I started realizing in Plexus was that I could do that. I could offer something back to other people that had absolutely changed our world while I was able to be super present with my kids. And if that's you, if you're on here and you're like, man, I really want to be a little bit more present with my kids, or maybe you don't have kids, you want to be super present with a spouse, or you want to be able to give time back to other people, whatever that looks like for you, you're on here because you probably have a goal and a dream in some capacity to be able to do that. And so, what I love helping other people do, and what the leaders on this team love helping y'all do if you got invited here by somebody besides me, is making that a reality in whatever it looks like. Maybe it's $500 extra a month for you. Maybe it's $5,000 extra a month. What I love in this space is that it's different for every single person. You might have a job that you absolutely love and that you don't want to walk away from. That's amazing. You have a phone, you already are scrolling, or you wouldn't have seen the Zoom or the message, right? And what you get to do here is to supplement your income. But if you also have that goal and that dream that you want something that's more, that maybe you want to stay home a couple of days a week, or maybe you want this to be your retirement fund, whatever that is for you, we want to make sure that we meet you where you're at. And what I've found with a lot of people is that the very first thing that stops people is that they don't think that they're a salesperson and they don't know how to get going. If that was you or that is you, will you drop a one in the comments? If you were somebody that was like, yeah, I just don't think that this is something that I can do, there's tons of ones. I love that y'all are dropping this because hello, that makes you normal. Welcome. That's every single one of us, y'all, because we probably have had this done wrong. Okay. And here's what I mean by this. I want you to describe a super salesy, spammy, slimy salesperson. What do they sound like? What do they say to you? Drop a couple of things in the comments. What somebody that you, when you think of like, I don't want to be that person, I don't want to be the spammy person, what does that look like for you? Let's make a deal. Yeah. Reminds me of a TV show, overbearing, right? Somebody that's constantly like hounding you about stuff and making you feel like if you don't, then they're never going to talk to you again, or they're like pushing you into something. I always think about that. Like, I don't know why, because I've never really bought a car off of a lot before, but I think about that car salesman because it's usually on shows where they're like, come on, let's get you into this car and let's make a deal, and just like constantly hounding you and don't let you walk around the store, only talking to me about their products, no real life chats, right? Y'all, that's not what we do here, or you probably wouldn't be here, right? The person that shared with you took time to listen to you. They've followed up with you. They want the best for you. And you're probably feeling something with the products, or if you're just getting started, you know that you will if you stay consistent, because there are thousands of stories with people that are feeling good with these products. And so before we even start with this, let me preface this by saying I love being a salesperson. Here's why. I used to have all these cute sayings like, I'm not a salesperson, I'm a shares person, because it made me feel better. I'm a 2 on the Enneagram. If any of y'all know what the Enneagram is, it means that I want to like sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya with every single person that I meet. I love people and I like people to like me. It's just who I am. I love people. And so I always had these cute sayings like, I don't want to sell things to people. I don't want to push people. Here's what you are, y'all. You're a guide You're not a pushy salesperson. And it's because Plexus is set up in a way that you never, ever, ever, ever have a minimum or a quota that you have to meet. I think that sometimes in sales, people get real pushy and there's a lot of network marketing companies that are like this. I can think of several off the top of my head where if you don't have like $5,000 in sales in a month, you lose out on your minimums, you lose out on your discounts, and you don't get paid. And so we all know what that would feel like, right? And I know some of y'all have been part of that before, where if you don't sell a certain amount, then X, Y, and Z happens for you. And guess what happens then at the end of the month? It's like, join my team for $9.95. I've got this special. And if they even like for an instant say that they're interested, it's like 72 messages back to back, and you're not left alone. We don't have that here. So what that allows us to do is to build trust and connections with people and not burn bridges. I've never ever felt like if somebody tells me no, that I can't be their friend anymore, or that they don't have something to offer, or I don't have something to offer to them. And so when you're here and you're thinking about this, that's the first thing that I want you to know is that nobody on this team is ever going to treat you as a number or as a downline or somebody that you're being pushed into something. That's not what we do here. What I love, and what if you're on this team and you're already sharing, will you just drop in the comments what you love the most about our team? Because something that I find that I love, and our team is completely different. I love that we have team chats if you're not in there where people dropped questions. If you're somebody that's newer to this, we have full team chats where everybody is constantly offering help. There's not a competition here because when one person rises, every other person truly rises too. And if I would have known 10 years ago that I would love being around a group of women, I probably would have told you I was crazy. Even though I love people, I always thought that, like Wendy's like, amen, hallelujah. Like I always thought that groups of women equated to drama, and that just does not happen here. Like everybody going for common goals is so, so refreshing. And so what I want to do tonight is just kind of go through some of the steps with y'all, and I'm going to close the screen just for a second so that you guys can all see this. These are really honestly the steps for growth. If y'all want to screenshot this, of course, it's a little bit more in depth, but this is really all it is. You're going to hear me say this over and over and over and over and over again, that this business is simple. It's not easy. And what I mean by that is that there really are simple, simple steps. But all of us, kind of what we just talked about, like we all have those reasons. Like maybe we don't want to be a salesperson. Maybe we don't want to have to message people. Maybe we don't want to create a list of people. Maybe we don't want to post in certain ways. And so those things get in our head. And so it takes those simple steps and it makes it hard. But the reality is that it's not hard to reach out to people because we're already doing it every single day. What's hard is that we don't know how to do it in a way that feels authentic and true to us. And so that's what I want to go over with you guys in just like the next 10 minutes and give you some steps. And then afterwards, you can message the person that invited you. You can message me. I'll hop on the call with anybody at any point in time, because what I never want to see happen for anyone is for you to avoid an opportunity because you're unsure of what it looks like. And I can promise you, I've had people that are like, yeah, I just don't think that that's for me. And that's fine. You can be a lifelong closet product user and never have to tell a soul. But I know that if you're on this call, it's because there's something more that you want. And I want you to get that more, whatever that looks like for you. And so first step is friend. Reaching out to people, having friends on social media. Here's the deal, y'all. I'm about to pay my membership for the entire year. And as an ambassador that's sharing, it's $39.95. And I have access to millions, really, of people on social media, whatever platform that's on. That's your first step, is that you have to have people. And so I just put friend there. That can be family members, it can be acquaintances, it can be people that you work with. Second step, sharing. I'm going to go through that with you. How that looks either with posting, with messaging people, like number 3, and then inviting people to opportunities that we already have on our team. And we have lots of them. And I'm going to go through that too, because we don't ever want you to feel like, okay, here's your link. Now go figure it out. Because that's not what this is at all. We have an entire team page with albums. We've got the team chats. We've got systems. We've got a team website. We really have every single thing that you need. It's just what's in between your own ears. You hear that common saying all the time, right? That's what's stopping you. And we don't want that to be what's stopping you. Okay, so share, don't sell mindset. Here's what I mean by this. I know that I talked a little bit about this. It's really, and I think it was Ange that said this in the chat, it's sharing your journey and showing your journey, not just announcing the product. You're not just making a sale when you share this with somebody else, you're solving a problem for them. And I honestly, this is why I'm so dang passionate about this, because if somebody would not have sold these products to me, if somebody would not have shared these products with me, I just spent a week, a lot of y'all saw the post that I put up about my oldest daughter. She's 15 now. She's been taking the products right alongside with me for almost 10 years. Had crazy, crazy allergies. We just lived in a barn with the cows and a tent around the hay and the mold and all of the stuff that comes with that for an entire week. And she did not have one reaction to anything. Now, I could go on and on and on about how many pediatric allergists told us that this would never be possible, but you better bet that I shared that journey and shared that last week because somebody else needs that problem to be solved. And before I go to the next slide, right now, I just want you for 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, it's not going to take you that long, for 5 seconds to just think, who do you know that is constantly complaining that they don't have the energy, that's complaining that they don't love their job, that they want to be with their kids more, that they don't want to wake up every single day and already have a headache, that when they go out at night and they go to a restaurant that their stomach hurts afterwards. We're all thinking of people, right? Because every single time you scroll on social media, you see people posting about those products or those problems. And now we want to give you a way that's so super simple for you to be able to reach out to them in the moments of your day. And that's what I want to also tell you guys, that this does not have to be you on your phones for 6 hours every single day. It's working in the nooks and crannies. If you're here and you're sharing, will you just drop maybe really quick what that looks like for you? If it's 15 minutes on your lunch break or before you go into work in the morning, or if you just have a split second at work, or maybe you stay up a little bit later at night to send messages, will you just drop in the chat for everybody that's got the chat up what that looks like for you to be able to work in the nooks and crannies of your day to share this? Because I know that one of the things that held me back with this was thinking I was going to be on my phone all day, that I didn't know how to do this, and that it was something that I thought that I needed long stretches of time to sit down and focus in. And that's not the case here at all. Okay. One of the things that we also want you to know is that you do not do this by yourself. So another really common misconception, and drop a 1 in the chat if you thought this, I can't or think this, I cannot share until I know everything there is to know about the products and I know exactly how to reach out to every single person. If you thought that, drop, or you think that now, drop a 1 in the chat, because I want to debunk that myth. That is the furthest thing from the truth, because if that were the truth, I would not be sharing it. We are constantly coming out with new things. We've got different research coming out. And if we had to know every single thing, we wouldn't share. Here's the way I like to think about this. If a new restaurant opens up in town and you know that your best friend loves sushi or steaks or whatever it is, and you hear about it, you would not, I mean, I don't think you would, at least I wouldn't. I would not go to that restaurant and try it out by myself first. And I love a good date me day. But I would not go to that restaurant and try it by myself first and then go and take my friend, right? On 2 separate occasions. I would try it together with them. And so if you don't know every single thing about it, that's amazing and perfect, because Plexus has done it all for us. There's videos, there's graphics, there's all the things that we need to be able to share. And we also do three-way chats constantly. So say you have somebody that's interested and you're my level one, like I've shared directly with you. All you do is you put them in a three-way chat with me and we go through it. It's not salesy, it's not spammy, it's not pushy. It's the exact way that you were presented with the products, and most of you are in three-way chats already. Then we want you to stick with one product package. Our team is getting back to this, back to the basics. We pretty much recommend the triplex to start for every single person because it heals a host of different things. And we do the same flow of conversations with every single person. And I know that that can sound a little bit like, well, that's kind of copy and paste, but the same person. So say I share with Jenny one day and the next day I'm sharing with Sally. Jenny and Sally don't know the flow of the conversation that I had the day before with Jenny, right? It does not need to change because we're trying to get to the root cause for every single person. And so really quickly, I'm just going to kind of show you what those conversations might look like and how you can invite people to it without being pushy. And so using curiosity-driven language like, hey, I thought about you because, or would you be open to hearing more about? And if they're not interested, let them know that that's okay, right? No worries at all. We always, always respect a no or a not here or a not right now and keep that relationship open because I cannot tell you how many times people stop the products, have trouble getting into a routine, or flat out say no, like I did all of those things. I said no, and then I quit for 6 months before I came back. And I'm so, so thankful for all of the times that those relationships are kept open because people come back because we have something that works. And so if that's something that you're kind of struggling with a little bit, you can screenshot this. We have these in our team page too. I have a whole website that goes through different kinds of reach outs that you can do with people. Hear me loud and clear on this. I use the word y'all a lot. I'm not really like a hey girl kind of person. If you are, make these messages match your copy. And what I mean by that is make them match your voice, right? If you're not somebody that uses y'all and you send your best friend a message that says y'all, they're going to be like, yeah, probably not. I'm also a person that loves sending voice messages. So fit what works for you and make these yours. But this is something that I love being able to share with people because it does not sound pushy. So, hey, I don't know if anybody's taken the time to reach out to you about this before, but I thought about you because, and then tell the person why. I would never get mad at somebody that was like, hey, I thought about you because I see you crushing having 4 small children, and I know that every mom needs the extra energy. If you can see people and meet them where they're at, that sounds so much different than, hey, join my team for $9.95. Right? That's the salesy car salesman versus the loving friend that's reaching out because they want you to live your best life. And so, and same thing with follow up. Hey, I just wanted to check in. So this would be if somebody comes back to me and they tell me what their needs are, and I'm going to get to that on the next message or on the next screen. But if somebody comes to me and they tell me that they want a couple of things for their health, I'm always going to follow back up with people, always. Because how many of us know how crazy busy life is? And for me as a mom, I know, and even for my husband, we put ourselves on the back burner so, so often because life's, right? There's so many other things that are going on. And I want to be that friend. And I'll tell them that very, very often, like, hey, I know I haven't heard from you in the last 5 or 6 messages, but I always want to be that friend that's going to champion you to know that you're worth it. And if you're on here and you've ordered with me, you likely have gotten a message like that because I genuinely mean it. I cannot imagine if I would not have come back to this and how different our life would be. So those are the initial follow-up messages. And then this is pretty much the flow for every single thing. And the reason that I'm showing you all this tonight is because I want you to feel confident and comfortable in how we reach out to people and that it's the same for every single person pretty much. So when they tell us that they're interested or they're open to hearing more, we always send, and this graphic is in our team page too. We've got it in our team chats. If you need it, message me. I'll always send it to you. But I want to personalize this to you. What are some of the top things that you're dealing with? And then we send that message to them, that graphic to them. And then the next message is, thanks for sharing that. How is that holding you back from doing the things that you love right now? So if somebody's struggling with migraines, they're probably going to say that they're missing out on moments with their kids, right? Because they're locked in a room. That is important because people need to buy with an emotional connection, right? Most people don't buy based on logic, they buy based on emotion. And most people will think that they don't have the time, the money, or the energy to start one more thing. And what we need to do is share with them that this is going to help them have more time, more energy, and in a lot of cases, more money because they're already spending their money on things that are not working for them, right? If somebody needs energy, they're spending their money on going to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or coffee, and those things are actually making them sicker. And so we get to share with somebody a way that's actually going to help them. Okay. And then these are the next two messages. This is the next graphic, literally the same thing for every single person, because we know if we're here that the triplex 99.9% of the time is where we need to start because it gets to the root cause. And so this can go a little bit more in depth. We have this all in our team page. We have this all on a website. We've got videos about this, but I want you to see the ease in what this looks like when you're sending a message. If this eases your mind and is a little bit more helpful for you to see this, will you just let's drop a 2 in the comments this time. If seeing the flow of this is kind of like, oh, well, I can do that. Like, because y'all, I know your names that are on here, the majority of you, I know what you do for a living. I know the work that goes into your days. This is what I mean by it's simple, but we make it hard, right? Because we overthink it. We're like, I don't know if I should send this message or how I should reach out to this person. And so I don't ever want anybody making a decision to share this opportunity or to not share this opportunity because you think that it's going to be too hard, because that's not the case. All right, really quickly, because I talk a lot and it's almost 9 o'clock already. Y'all can just screenshot these. These are, again, we have them in our team page. We have them in our website. These are just a couple of different types of posts. You will not see me pretty much ever, ever, ever share a graphic that's been made by Plexus, like the sale type graphics that's like, we've got 15% off right now, or we've got this, or here's an event that you can come to. You will almost never see me share that stuff because to me, that screams sales. And I know, not because I'm embarrassed by what I do, I'm really, really proud of what we get to do here, but because and you won't necessarily even see me post the word Plexus. Again, not because I'm ashamed of what I do, but because we have less than, even now they say 1 second when people are scrolling to grab their attention. And most people think that they already have their minds made up about what they are or are not going to do. And so when we're posting graphics or we're saying words and starting it with that, and they feel like they're being sold to, they're going to tune out to it. And so that's why we do what we call attraction marketing. And so these are 2 examples of it. We've got lots of them. These are 2 examples of it. If you want to screenshot them, I can always send them to you. Again, we have them in all of the things, but we want you to see. And if you're not a selfie person, we won't make you take selfies, but I promise you'll get used to it. But you can also do, I know some of y'all are like, oh, I'm out. But product posts like this, or even with your kiddos or something that you're doing, if you're walking your dog or whatever that looks like, it does not have to be a selfie picture. I drop a 1 in the comments if you are like, I will never take a selfie, but now you're like, oh, this isn't so bad, because I want people to see me. Like, I want to be the face of Plexus and what we're doing. Here's what we want you to know at the end of all of this, y'all. We want to meet you where you're at, and we want to help you create a space and a place in your social media and in your life and in your messages with content that feels natural for you. We are never going to be here if you start with this opportunity and say, all right, here's what you got to post. You got to put up 10 posts a day, and you've got to message 40 people a day, and you've got to put up 75 stories, and you've got to attend every meeting and every event. we do a lot of stuff on this team so that you can pick and choose what's best for you. Excuse me. But what this really looks like, and if you scroll through the last week of my posts, there's probably one Plexus post and 10 cow posts because that was my life for the last week. At the end of the day, I want people to know me for me and know me that I love what I do. I love my kids. I love adding inspiration, hopefully, to people and sharing my life. But Plexus posts are going to be there because they add to that, not because every single thing that I do is just with Plexus. And so if you're worried that like, oh my gosh, my social media page is going to come up with all these different things and I have to start posting there, that's not the case. Okay. You guys can screenshot this real quick for those of you that are starting to work on duplication and helping other people. We'll talk more about that next week. I know it's 9 o'clock and I want to be really good with your time because I know it's a Monday night and we try to keep these to 30 minutes and we'll talk more about that this week. But here's how I want to end this, and I'm going to give you a little prompt for any of those of you that are ready. I want you to just really ask yourself tonight before you go to bed, and you can screenshot this too and then come back to it. What would you go for if you were not scared to fail? And what if by staying stuck and not going for it, that was you failing at something? I think that so often when I talk to men and women and moms and dads and people that are thinking about this opportunity, I am not saying leave your 9 to 5 job tomorrow and dive all into Plexus. I mean, I've known people that have done that and it's not a bad gig to do that either. But what I'm saying is, I don't ever want somebody to stay living life on repeat day after day if $500 extra would change your world right now, or $5,000 extra would change your world right now, or $10,000 a month extra would just open up so many different possibilities, because I'm here to tell you that every single one of those things is possible. And I don't want you staying stuck in a place that you're in because you have an unrealistic or just not true version of what this opportunity really can be for you. So here's your challenge. I'm going to post about it in the team page right after we get off. We have an event on Monday night, or I'm sorry, this is Monday night. We have an event on Wednesday night that is a messenger event. It's 15 minutes. It's going to be a back to school event. This can be for anybody, right? This is a time where so many people are getting back into routines. So many people are really starting to kind of hone in on, the extra energy and keeping our kiddos healthy all year. And we're going to theme that event around that. In the next 48 hours, your challenge is to share an authentic product post, not a post of the product, a picture of you with it, maybe, or a picture of you and your family and how these products have changed your world without mentioning it. Message me if this is something that you want to go through with me, or message your upline so that we can go through that together. Then I want you to use that template. Again, if you're struggling with that, message me. I will help anybody with it. And I know that the person that added you here will too. Start 5 genuine conversations. Hey, I know I was just thinking about you. I just wanted to see how you were doing. I was thinking about you because XYZ, however that feels normal and natural for you. And then we're going to help you over the next 48 hours personalize at least 10 invitations for our back to school event, and we'll get you added to that if that's something that you want to do. Okay. I am so glad that you are on here. If you are in our team chat, will you go and drop what was most valuable for you? If you are new here and you've never been on a Plexus call, I want you to message the person that invited you here, or if you're here and I am the one that shared with you, message me. I'm going to put everybody into a drawing for a free bag of our Prickly Pear Active that's already sold out, and I'm going to announce that in our team page, because I want you guys to know how valued you are. I want you to know that your goals and your dreams are absolutely possible here, and that the next few months in Plexus, with the free Cancun trip, with all the things that are going on, this is absolutely the right place at the right time with the right team. And we want to make sure that you have full access to that, however that looks for you. Okay. I love y'all. Happy Monday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.